Hello and welcome to the other side of mind. My name is Marina Hokin. I'm a licensed therapist. I work in a clinic and I see patients in my private practice in Boston area. In therapy, I often illustrate psychological concepts using films and life events. And I would like to create a safe space like this YouTube channel when we can explore those ideas together. 2 weekends ago, we had Oscars, which can be considered as a new year for cinema. So I thought it's a great way to start would be discuss Anora, the film that dominated the awards, winning the Best Picture, Best Actress for Making Madison, and Sean Baker took award as the Best Director, Best Editing, and Best Original Screenplay. Before we dive in, I'd like to make some spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan to see the movie, I would recommend you to stop this video and go and watch it first, because I'm gonna spoil it for you right now. However, if you don't intend to watch it, don't worry, you'll still be able to get the concept I'll discuss. Anora, who prefers to go by Annie, works in a strip club in New York. One night, she's asked to take care of Russian-speaking client, who turns out to be Vanya, the son of a Russian ultra-wealthy oligarch. Vanya likes Annie. He hires her to work for him outside the club. The relationship quickly escalates. He invites her to New Year's celebration. He asks her to be exclusive with her for a week. Well, for money, of course. And soon proposed to marry him, just for him to get a green card so that he does not have to go to Russia to work for his father. This is so-called a modern-day pretty woman. The fairy tale crashes, however, when Vanya's powerful parents learn about the marriage and rush to New York to undo the mistake. As Vanya goes off the grid, his babysitters spend a good part of the movie searching for him. Eventually, his parents arrive, Vanya is found, sobered up, the marriage is annulled, storm of emotions, everyone unhappy. Now, let's see what makes this movie so great and what we can learn from it for ourselves. First, I'll introduce the main characters, then analyze their interactions, and finally, we'll discuss why this emptiness, hopelessness, and sadness we feel at the end of the movie is actually a happy ending. However, not like in a Disney fairy tale. So, let's start with Anora, Annie. We meet her at work. This is headquarters, elite strip club in New York City. To me, Annie looks very professional. She knows exactly how to approach clients, how to set up boundaries, how to get clients do what they don't want to do.
You don't have cash? Let's go to the ATM. You want to go to the ATM right now?
Can't spend too much.
Yeah, okay, let's go to the
How
ATM.
to get them to a private room. And I couldn't get rid of idea that she's trying to be a perfect employee, exactly following SOPs like she would do working in a car salon or hair salon, selling goods, or in a retail, selling credit cards. She's very honest and has a high work standards.
You know, you pay for an hour and there's still like 45 minutes left.
If you can call it that way. In her relationships, however, outside the work, she's very defensive.
And if your cousin doesn't start showing us some respect, we're not gonna tip out anymore. Jimmy, once you give me health insurance, workers' comp, and a fucking 401k, then you can tell me when I work and not work.
Except for her coworker who look up to her.
Dad, is that a butterfly?
Yeah, it's a butterfly.
You're so classy.
I know.
I got dollar signs.
Here she feels safe. It looks like that all she has in her life is work and sleeping at home.
Did you pick up milk?
Do you see milk in the fridge?
No.
Then I didn't pick up the milk.
From this little interaction with her sister, we can see that boundary is not really respected in this family, and she has to really fight for that. For me, Annie looks like a creature who is trying to survive. To better understand this movie, let's consider a person in a lens of how they can recognize and fulfill their biological needs. Our brain is equipped with built-in systems designed to ensure those needs are met. For example, when the temperature drops, I start feeling negative emotions. It makes me go and look for something warm. And once I get warm, I feel a positive emotion. Over the time, brain learned this behavior and I know what I need to do to feel warm again. This way, my brain ensures that I keep optimal temperature and I will survive. And other processes maintaining my life would be fulfilled. We have multiple needs which related to our survival as a biological organism, that related to our survival as a society. It's like our need for connection, our need for love, our need to become parents, and it's also our needs to explore, to learn, to develop something new. Like you probably know Abraham Maslow, who proposed his famous pyramid of human needs. And he argued that basic physiological needs lies in the bottom and higher up self-actualization needs lie on the top of the pyramid. According to this model, survival needs must be met before the person can push other aspirations. Later, Maslow reconsidered his theory and claimed that some needs can be experienced at the same time, and it's way more complicated than that, but let's stick with this model for now. For Anora, safety is a dominant need regardless of her external circumstances. It doesn't mean that she experienced some real threat. She feels unsafe inside. And it might be a result of trauma. It might be a result of her work environment. We know that statistically, sex workers are at a higher risk for mental health issues, such as anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder. The effect on mental health of this work by itself is severe. It's associated with social stigma, discrimination, physical violence, mistreatment by authorities, drugs. It's a chicken and egg question. The trauma could predispose any to choose this profession, or it can be a result of that profession, or it can be both. Imagine being in her company. What would you feel? Most likely you would be feeling someone following instructions or someone trying to please you to guess what you want. You probably barely get from her genuine, authentic reaction. You probably feel compared with herself, like, am I liked or not? See how anxious she feels staying with Vanya in her new, after she married him, how anxious she feels staying there. He's hypervigilant. Well, it's for a reason, but she cannot enjoy the moment. It's difficult not to compare Anora with the Pretty Woman movie. Let's take a look on Vivian in exactly the same situation when her partner is fully absorbed with something else, like with work. You see what she's doing. She's exploring the environment. She is genuinely enjoying her life. She gives Richard Gere's character a lot of authentic reactions, which actually make him attracted to her. But what about Anora? She cannot explore. She anxiously holds on to Vanya, who she wants to provide him safety, and which he fails to do at the end. What do we know about Annie? We know she doesn't like her name Anora. She'd like to be more accepted by American name. We know that she speaks Russian, and she learned Russian because her grandma never learned English. We know that her mother lives with her man in Miami. Nothing wrong with living in Miami, but words her man makes me think of multiple partners her mom had during her life and very chaotic upbringing conditions Annie might had, and probably she'd been frequently abandoned by her mom and left with her grandmother, who could not understand what the girl wants. She had to learn how to have her needs met on her own. When no one's hear you, it's easier to reject this weak, needy child and reject her vulnerable part of herself completely and welcome this masculine, strong part, a fighter who can protect you. That's maybe she ends up being stronger than man who kidnapped her.
One time.
Look!
Why, you afraid of this little girl?
She's an animal!
She's a fucking little girl! She beat you both up?
And probably that helps her to complete a task and find Vanya when everyone felt lost and hopeless. Thinking psychoanalytically, Annie is fighting for a phallus, for the symbolic representation of man's power, and she rejects her feminine, weak part. It helps her to be a professional in what she is doing, but really affects her ability to really genuinely connect with other people. Now let's talk about Vanya. And thank you, Mark Edelstein, for a genius performance of this infantile character. You see how childish this boy is, and even in his body language. Such a great acting. Again, thinking analytically, Vanya probably was never born, because his needs 20 years out, and his needs are still met before he announced it, like in his mom's womb. All we see Vanya does is chasing quick pleasures. And watching Vanya, I cannot stop thinking of Melanie Klein's object relation theory. Melanie Klein describes two modes of experiencing the world. One paranoid schizoid position and another depressive position. Those positions shape how individuals relate to others. Those positions are not strictly developmental stages, but rather psychological states that people can move between through the life. When the child is born, the only he or she can do is to suck, because sucking reflex is what we got from the beginning. And the milk through the mom breast, it feels good because the pain subsides, the hunger subsides, and we feel good and we love this breast. It's a good object. But sometimes there is no milk, or sometimes tummy hurts and milk does not bring alleviation. And then we hate this breast. The child hates this breast and experiences it as a bad object, even though it's the same breast that can bring good emotions. And that's what Melanie Klein called the paranoid schizoid position. And the world is experienced in two extremes, like all good or all bad, with nothing in between. And that creates very unstable relationships driven by fear, idealization, and sudden rejection. As we develop emotionally, we come into depressive position when we recognize that people can be good and bad at the same time, that capable of both kindness and flaws. It's easier to tolerate ambivalence. It helps to develop greater relationship, empathy, relate to a person as a separate object with his own needs and desires, who's not controlled by your demands. It looks like Vanya is stuck in the first paranoid schizoid position. How he reacts on any frustration, with a rage or with escape. He treats people according to how good could they meet his needs. His life is built on pushing immediate gratification. It's like sex, drugs, computer games, gain drugs. If you watch Vanya playing computer game, it's like fast, pressing the buttons. There is no shadow of thought. There is no strategy, no learning. It's just fast reaction. And same thing he does when he is having sex with Annie. I won't probably show this cuts due to YouTube rules, but trust me, it looks exactly the same. Annie, who is professional and tries to show him that how to get more pleasure out of what he has, she becomes his teacher and fulfilling mother who can meet his needs better than anyone else. And you see how he gives her champagne glass.
No, Annie. It's a champagne glass of my mother, of my fucking mother. And it will be your champagne glass.
And what we are cheering for?
Like, become my mom. It's kind of restaging his Oedipal conflict when the child resents his father and would like to marry his mother. The world is here created to meet his needs. Annie can now meet all his needs, sexual, social, it looks cool in a group of friends. And even the security, like give him a green card so that he don't have to go work. So why Annie felt for him? Right, she wants to meet her needs, safety needs. She was like, I liked how she was slowly trying this role for herself. Maybe I don't need to work every day. Maybe I can move out of my sister's place. Maybe I can do something else when I have all those houses and all this power. And the desire to get her power to meet safety needs, she goes kind of against the pyramid and actually fails. Doris and Kenrick. What do you think of those guys? In the movie, they are shown from this comedian side. They are American Armenians. We meet them both at the New Year party. They are Vanya's babysitters. So Vanya's parents paid them so that they could keep Vanya out of problems. It looks like they had one job and they failed it. Both of those characters idealizes money and power. We can see Taurus, how he easily ditched his spiritual responsibilities of a god father for this girl to serve his gold calves, earth-lived gods who have real power and real money right here, right now, not someone illusional who can probably take care of you after life. See this cut when Taurus meet them in the airport. It's like God's coming to earth. That's his golden calf. That's his safety and his power. Now, Galina and Nikolai, Vanya's parents. What do you guys think about this couple? What feelings do you have when you watch this woman? She's very decisive, very controlling. And same like Vanya, she's treating people according to how they meet her needs and how they serve her here and now. And what about her husband? Probably, we don't know exactly from the movie, but most likely he made his money in the 90s by selling Russia's goods and offshoring money abroad, as most oligarchs who got very rich at that time. It looks like in this situation he has no power of making decisions and even no power to say words. All the control goes to his wife. Can you imagine what kind of mother would she be for Vanya? From the one hand, this is fulfilling mom who can have all your needs met and all your wish come true.
Vanya? Vanya.
At the same time, it's very phallic and very castrating mother who takes away your power. It's gonna be as I said.
Ты что, пьян? Твою мать, пьян. Гарик, он пьян. Тебе стыдно?
Да.
Тебе стыдно? Тебе за что стыдно? Ты нашу семью всю опозорил на весь мир.
You can have whatever you want if it is with line with my vision of your life. You cannot have any wish of your own. And definitely the last thing this woman wants to do is to give a control to Annie. In this scene, when Annie tried to stand up for herself, Nikolai starts laughing hysterically.
And you are discussing hooker.
And your son hates you so much he married one to piss you off.
That's enough.
Yeah. Now your family's trash.
What do you think is this laugh about?
Yeah, go get your little scarf, sweetie.
That's enough.
Why don't you take your f***ing coat too?
That's enough. Let's go.
He's not standing up for his wife. He's not apologizing in front of Annie for his family behavior. In that moment, I thought that maybe long ago, his wife maybe also was an escort worker who tried to get her safety needs met through him, his power. And that's maybe what happened. In this case, this couple can be a preview of what would happen to Annie if relationship with Vanya would work out. But they did not. Now, let's talk about Igor. We met Igor in a very chaotic moment of uncertainty when Annie's worst fears started coming true. I love Yura Borisov acting here. You can see how calm he is. He introduced himself by name. He does not call Annie a whore. He congratulates her with her marriage. What do you think about him? What do we know about Igor? We know that he drives very old car. He has no idea why he is here and what's the goal of this trip. Maybe it's his first day at work. His English is poor and he lives with his grandmother in Brooklyn. He probably had just arrived to this country and probably his financial situation is much worse than Annie's, since it's his birthday, as we learn later on, and he turned 30s, but he still came to work. But look at him, he is not in a survival mode, he is present here and now. He involved in the situation. Somehow at that moment of the movie I understood that Annie and Vanya would not work out just by watching Igor and the way he is present there for her. It looks like Igor has no interest in specific outcome of the situation. He has no problems following directions. He is not getting defensive when attacked by any.
What the why?
Because I don't deal drugs.
Fucking gopnik who can afford to live in Brightwater and doesn't deal drugs? Yeah, right.
It's my grandmother's apartment and it's her drugs. I don't have any more, and I'm not gopnik.
And this internal safety allows him to stand up for her in front of those super rich and super powerful people.
Я понимаю, что сейчас, наверное, не в тему будет, но мне кажется, было бы правильно, чтобы Иван извинился.
And even steal from them to make life a little bit more fair for Annie, like when he returned her the ring that was taken from her. Igor is the only one who treats Annie with respect and care, and she is very defensive, because she doesn't know how to be treated well, and she takes it as a sign of weakness. She projects on him her aggression and attacking him all way long. However, Igor can take it without getting angry and digest her negative feelings and stay calm and still be there for her.
You fucking assaulted me, you psychopath.
First, it's because you have sensitive skin.
No, it's not. It's because you're fucking crazy.
And it's second, because you're too crazy. I mean, crazy too. But I can say you're too crazy too.
Let's summarize what had happened. All characters tried to meet their needs on expense of others. Vanya tried to replay his Oedipal conflict by marrying someone looking like his mom and resenting his father. At the same time, Annie got an illusion that she could meet her needs by safely marrying this guy through money and power. But situation changed and Vanya's safety was threatened. Annie became useless since she alone cannot provide what he needs, so he has no problem letting her go.
You get it?
So we're getting a divorce. You.
Of course! Are you stupid?
How those words make you feel?
And thank you for making my last trip to America so fun.
Yeah, you had fun.
Yeah. Let's go.
The wonderful vacation for him was such a hope and life promised for her that makes us heartbroken. And again, both Vanya and his mom treat Annie as a thing, and they don't find it needed to apologize in front of the thing, right?
Значит так, мой сын ни перед кем здесь извиняться не будет. Понятно?
Конечно, не будет.
Because you don't apologize in front of the cup, right? For drinking water from it. So you don't have to apologize from people you pay. For Annie, it was like a terrible rejection. Like a family of gods who came to this earth told her, we're better than you. You not belong to us. We don't want you here. What makes this end a happy end? Through all the drama, Annie was witnessed and observed by Igor, the guy who was not judging her, who see her as a person and cared about her and accepted her despite being rejected by her ups. And while Annie was trying to get her safety by obtaining the power, he had all this power by just being safe inside, despite of what's going on in the real world. And let's take a look on the last scene in the car. Annie keeps attacking Igor, probably to restore her broken self-esteem. And then when Igor gives her the ring that was taken from her, Annie immediately trying to pay back and to say thank you. And the only way to connect, she knows, is to initiate sexual intercourse. But that's not what Igor is looking for. That moment, her defense are broken and raw feelings come in. And she become again weak Anora, sitting in her grandmother's car with her Russian-speaking grandmother when she cannot be accepted and understood. She became the girl she is desperately trying to reject in herself, probably because she was rejected by adults in her life. But right now, she is accepted like that. Right now, her emotions are accepted. Right now, she gets this unique experience of being accepted while being vulnerable. And this kind of experience, the moment when defense break and the person is seen and accepted for who he really is, can often be a breakthrough in therapy. People come to therapy to be observed and to be seen through their lives. And when you're able to give them this different experience of different reactions that they expect, that's usually a turning point. After that, they start paying more closer attention to their emotions, no longer dismissing, label them as a weakness, and start recognizing them as a guide how to make decisions in life. For the first time now, Anora is not performing, not fighting, not proving her worth. She is simply be, and she is met with acceptance. If she allows herself to take it in, her life might go completely different. And let's hope she internalizes this moment and try to reconnect with herself. Probably she started being more open with her emotions and not feeling ashamed for that. As she embraces this part of herself, she might start to feel a sense of safety, not the illusion of safety that comes with the power and wealth, but the kind that comes from self-acceptance. Maybe she, by feeling inner stability, maybe she starts moving up on her pyramid. Maybe she finds a genuine connection, maybe with Igor, maybe with someone else. Maybe she would start exploring the world and move forward to her American dream. What do you guys think? Now let's talk about you. What do you think? What need become dominant in your life? As a homework, I suggest you to complete the exercise you can find in the description of this video. These are simple questions that help you better understand the pyramid Maslow and how well you adjusted to each level. This is not a test. Please don't be too hard on yourselves. Just be aware of where you are right now. Is the first step to improve your life. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next videos. I believe next few times we'll continue talking about Oscar-winning movies. I think it's a lot to talk about. And if you have any movie in mind or any topic you'd like to discuss, please let me know down in the comments. And have a great week. Bye.